As we mentioned in the last video, even though it was getting late, we decided we would do a night drive into...
Ladies and gentlemen, the Traveling Wildberries. Vancouver. Here we are.
Yep, 49 days and approximately 4,500 kilometers later, we have arrived.
Because it was later in the day, we decided we would head straight for the overnight spot that Ken said he knew about, where RVs generally hang out. When we got there, there were a few other RVs already parked there, so we were pretty sure we had the right place. We basically just parked and took our old bones and went to sleep.
Old bones. I'm telling you, we just walk a lot. That's why we get tired. We're exercising.
Old.
In the morning, we drove over to Stanley Park and set ourselves up in what seemed to be the perfect parking spot. Yeah, this spot was right across from the ticket booth. It had a grassy little area just outside the door where we could sit and relax, and it was only $8 for the whole day and evening. Woohoo!
Once we got parked and settled in, that's right, went for one of our epic walkabouts.
Steps, steps, steps. We walked down the bike path. Beginning on the right side of the park. When we got about halfway mark, we came up the pathway through the middle, back towards the RV.
Once back at the RV, we had lunch, then bought tickets to check out the Vancouver Aquarium. On our walk over to the aquarium, we stumbled on this section here, which is no longer being used. It apparently used to be a polar bear exhibit.
As for the aquarium, it offered a variety of the standard aquarium type fare, including the sea lions, the penguins, and this tattoo, which caught my attention while we were waiting for more info about the sea lions. The indoor section featured a variety of exotic birds, turtles, snakes, and poisonous frogs.
Kenai here, I do see very big teeth, but no tusks at all. It's actually their sizes that get confused. You can see that Kenai is a very, very big boy. People often think that seals don't have ears, but that's not true. They can hear you very, very well. They're just covered, and you usually can't see them at some points. But as you saw, A-Man kind of hoists himself out of the water.
I like the penguins. Their waddle makes me smile.
Me too. Check out this odd fish. Cursed with having to swim around on their side. Very odd. You kind of get the feeling that if there is such a thing as reincarnation, and these guys came back in this form, it was because they were mean to someone in a previous life. No, seriously. How odd would it be to be cursed with having to literally be on your side like this all the time? With one of your eyes just sort of trying to be on the same side?
After our aquarium tour, we then went on a walkabout to see the left side of the park.
It was very nice. We got back to the RV and had supper shortly after that.
It was also nice to be able to sit around while having our home sitting right there beside us. We could use the washroom, have a nap, or even go inside and watch TV for a break if we choose to, but didn't choose that option.
After relaxing and recharging for a bit, we took down the bikes and went for a long bike ride across the harbor. Ending up turning around near the Canada Place Convention Centre.
And that was our day at Stanley Park. We left around 8 p.m. and headed towards Rogers Arena. We unknowingly took a turn and then a side street which brought us down to another street which was parallel with the bad part of Hastings Street. For those who have not heard of this area, it's a part of Vancouver that not many folks want to talk about. Lots of drugs and shady characters and so on.
It was pretty stark looking. We had people using a hammer on the side. Actually, it was practically in the middle of the road, dismantling wooden pallets. There were mattresses on the side of the road and numerous other things.
We both felt a bit uneasy, to say the least. We got to the end of that road and turned left. Then, within a short period of time, we were in that upbeat area that was filled with clubs and music and people milling around. It was very reminiscent of, say, the clubs and bars on Elgin Street in Ottawa, for those who know that area.
We found a parking spot and started walking around. We sort of ended up attached to this group that was part of a walking tour with a guide who was telling stories of the history of the local buildings in the area.
Pandemonium reigned in Victoria. Chaos. Folks were desperate, terrified for their lives, and rightly so. Here in Vancouver, the mayor of the day was Frederick Cope, and he did his best to cope. He put a huge cordon around the city, decreeing no one.
That's right, we tagged along listening in for a bit. It was interesting, but time to move on.
We heard music coming from all the different bars and so on, so we picked the sound that we liked and went in for a drink.
We chatted with the bartender who told us he had moved here several years ago from... The place escapes me right now, but suffice to say he said he preferred being here in Vancouver.
Anyways, it was getting late, so we decided to head out. I didn't realize it, but when I drove up the road and turned left, I actually turned onto Hastings Street again. Here's a bit of the footage. You can see that it gradually gets more and more crowded and busy as you begin to see people and vendors and trash and stuff all over the place.
I told Ken later that I wasn't even sure I was comfortable with him stopping at the red lights.
We found our way to an area where I thought I heard there might be some good overnight RV parking, but I wasn't 100% sure it was the right place. So I parked the RV on the main road and ran up the side street to see if this was the place. I went a block and then another block and then another, but wasn't finding the spot. I was a bit leery about being so far up the road, but I decided to try one more block, and voila! This was the spot.
Yeah, but meanwhile, I was sitting back in the RV, worried as hell, wondering if anything happened to him since he'd been gone quite a while.
Yep, I got an earful when I got back. I knew she was going to be worried, and I felt bad, but I just had to keep going to be sure this was the spot. And since I had gone as far as I had, it didn't seem right to just turn around. And besides, it was the spot. There were several other RVs there, so I felt comfortable and everything worked out.
Guess what we did next? We parked the RV and went to sleep.
Be sure to come back to the next video where we head over to visit several iconic and interesting places on the waterfront.
That's it.
Ciao for now.